3, 2.
Hey guys, I'm Allie Trutman, founder and CEO of Wicked Sheets, and we are doing our first Facebook Live video. So if you guys are tuned in, thank you so much for watching. I can guarantee you a funny 10 minutes, and I'm hoping to answer some of those burning questions you guys have about our cool sheets. I have a live studio audience with us today. We're actually preparing for our big TV break in a couple of months, we hope, and I thought it would be great to practice some of the questions that our viewers might have or our potential customers might have about our product. So just a little background about Wicked Sheets if you don't know. We are moisture wicking and cooling bed sheets that provide comfort sleep solutions for folks suffering from night sweats and hot flashes. I started the company about 9 years ago to address my own issues of night sweats, which most of the general public knows about because I'm very public about my profuse sweating. And I'm happy to share more of that with you guys today. So we have two product lines, moisture wicking and moisture wicking plus cooling. And I think we probably have some questions from the audience that I'll be able to share with you guys why Wicked Sheets are so great and why we think our product works for you, and it's going to help you keep cool and dry all night long. So without further ado, I'm going to throw it over to my audience to see if you guys can ask me some of those questions you might have about our products, and I can help sell Wicked Sheets. All right, who wants to start first? Yes, in the back.
So what does wicking mean exactly?
Awesome question. So we chose the term wicked as the title of our company because the sheets actually wick away or absorb the moisture that comes off your body when you're sleeping. So kind of like athletic material, we wanted it to pull the moisture away from your skin and keep you cool and dry all night long while you're sleeping. The best part about Wicked Sheets is that it goes to the dry surface areas of bed. So if you're laying down sleeping and your skin is in contact with the sheets, it's going to pull the moisture and travel out to the dry surface areas of the bed, and it basically evaporates as it's going out. So we always say, there's never a wet spot, always a cool spot. Yeah?
So with it being wicking, and there's obviously moisture that's absorbed, how often do you have to wash or clean the sheets?
Awesome. So we put them to the test. We have an independent testing facility down in Georgia, but just recently we actually got approvals from a lab in Ireland that our sheets can withstand 4 weeks worth of moisture absorption before they start stinking, right? Or before you feel like, ugh, this isn't working anymore. That nasty stuff that's in sweat or other bodily fluids, yes, they absorb all bodily fluids, is gross, right? It has sebum, electrolytes, potassium. It's the oils that, that come out of your body that our sheets really like. If we were to do a demonstration, I was going to pour a bottle of water on this, the water wouldn't absorb as well as the oil and the sweat does from your body. So my best, advice to people is follow the FDA instructions on wash and care. They say wash your bedding once a week because of how many dead skin cells come off, and that's pretty gross to trap in your bed. But from a Wicked Sheet standpoint, we can actually withstand 4 weeks worth of sweat before you can actually feel the gunk or any of the wicking ability would be neglected. Yeah?
What exactly are the care instructions in terms of washing, fabric softener,
So
temperature?
just like you would do with your athletic wear, the stuff you're running in, they always say to avoid fabric softener. So the stuff that's in fabric softener is usually sticky, either a liquid or on a dryer sheet, and that sticky stuff clogs the fabric of the pores of the fabric, and so that could impede the wicking ability. But other than that, the normal wash and care instructions that you would follow on any set of sheets is what we adhere to. So just avoid fabric softener, and then if there's any sort of static, we've only seen that happen if you're drying it with bath towels. So we actually swear by those little porcupine balls that you toss in, or a dryer ball that might break up some of the static. But you can wash and care for them just as you would your standard sheets. Yeah.
Just to finish, do you recommend washing them separately from any other, or can you?
You can wash them with
other?
it. Yeah, you can wash them with anything else. And I wanted to add, I'm so glad you had a follow-up. If you have white Wicked Sheets, you can bleach them with an oxygen-based bleach. The chlorine actually breaks down any sort of fiber, not just Wicked Sheets. So if you bleach things at your house, you should always look for an oxygen-based bleach because it's going to help your fabric stay healthier and stronger as the age of the garment or the bed sheet.
What's the difference between wicking and cooling together?
So our original moisture wicking line, which I created to address my own issues of night sweats, I was just waking up to wet bedding all the time. I didn't necessarily have a problem cooling myself down, I have night sweats as a result of stress sleeping, high metabolism. When I tore my ACL, I was on some medication. And so the wicking line is the ultimate moisture control. So I don't necessarily have issues with overheating, but a lot of our customers were reaching out to us and saying, hey, I actually don't sweat as much, but I can't cool down in my bed. And some of the best examples we have from our customers are folks that are going through chemo, radiation, other immunotherapy drugs that actually just make their skin flush and they have a hard time cooling internally. So our cooling line, we added a silk weight nylon to it, and it actually stays 2 to 3 degrees cooler to the touch all night long. So it has the same ultimate moisture control, but there's another component that's knitted into the fabric that adds that 2 to 3 degrees coolness to the touch. Yeah.
Why are wicked sheets better than cotton?
Oh, I love this question. So when I was growing up, cotton was the only option. And even, I love you, Mom, I love you, but you used to put flannel sheets on my bed, and I have night sweats, and that made me very, very unhappy. That's why age 13 through 16 was really rough for us. Anyway, so cotton, my friends, is really difficult because it is a woven fiber. It is intended, right, to be strong and hold weight and never tear and never rip and all that stuff. But if you can imagine a weave being sewn together to be strong, how can air go through any of that fabric, right? So wicked sheets, we have pores in it just like your skin, so that allows breathability to go in and out. So in comparison to cotton, which we've tested numerous times with our lab down in Georgia and Alabama actually now, it wicks away 6 times more moisture than cotton. It dries 4 times faster, and it's 3 times more breathable because of the pores that are found in the fabric. So if you can, when you guys hop up later and take a look at the bed, there are pores on one side, and the silky side is the cooling side. So it's going to pull the moisture in here, and then it's going to travel. And if we did a really cool science experiment and put some dye and some fake sweat, you could watch it travel through the pores of the fabric. But the best part is, you should always be able to see a little bit of light through your sheet. The My Pillow guy was at a convention that I was at, and he asked me, I would put your sheets on my pillow as long as I can see through it. So I threw him a pillowcase from this stage, and I was like, here you go, put me to the test. He's like, yep, I would buy these pillowcases. So I'm like, all right, I win! I don't think I sold any pillowcases, but I got the My Pillow guy to talk to me, so that was cool. Yeah.
If we were, how do we order these sheets, and what is your return policy?
So we sell everything from an e-commerce platform. Our #1 channel is wickedsheets.com, but we're also on resellers like Amazon, Brookstone, House.com, Slumbersome, a few other like specialty retailers, a lot of sleep apnea companies, some cancer centers. So wickedsheets.com is obviously my preference because that order goes directly to us. We can put forth the best customer service, I think. And then return policy is a great question. So what I recognize or understand about sweating is that your body changes every 28 days. When I have night sweats, it's not every night in a row. I can't predict when it happens. So oftentimes you have to let your body go through its natural 28-day cycle, right? Just like women having periods, sorry. Okay, so we give 100% customer satisfaction guarantee for 60 days so that you can go through at least 2 natural cycles of your body and hope that you can experience the worst night sweat you've ever had on our sheets, and we can prove ourselves as a great product for you.
Will these sheets hold up to heavy wear and tear like if used as coverings for pillow forts?
Oh, your kids would like to know. Okay, your kids just dialed in, right? They text, hey Dad, can we use this? Actually, the durability factor is my favorite thing. I've been sleeping in my original set of Wicked sheets for 9 years. 9 years. Now we've changed sewers over time, so yeah, seam has changed. We bought 2 new machines this year, and I think it's probably the best seam that we've ever made. I never thought in my life I would be saying those brands. It's the best seam we've ever made. But the durability factor, not an issue whatsoever. So make as many pillow forts, toss, turn, things like that. And another point that I'd like to make is that one of our customers called, and she was actually going through cancer treatment, and she said she liked the silky factor and how she didn't get tangled in the sheets because she had limited mobility from the cancer treatment she was going through, and she couldn't slide in and out of the sheets well. So on our fabric, she said she could actually slide in and out of bed better, and they didn't get tangled, and they didn't like pull on her while she was getting it out of bed. So it's those things that we hear from our customers that we don't even think about unless they call in and tell us. So if you are a customer, if you guys are customers and have any feedback for us, we'd love to hear it. You can always email me at Allie, ALLI, at wickedsheets.com if you have any of those questions, or shoot us a note on Facebook for sure. Yeah.
So how well does this moisture wicking work for things that aren't just sweat and, like ketchup or syrup?
Ketchup or syrup, yes. We actually did a video at Thanksgiving where we did a, right, Barry? A photo shoot of me eating different Thanksgiving foods in the bed. It didn't get much traction. I don't know why. I literally had a turkey leg on my chest, a thing of coffee, and a Reese's peanut butter cup Halloween pumpkin next to me, and I was like, let's just put food all over and film it. And he's like, Barry's like, I love you. And he's like, whatever you say, boss. Like, all right, we'll do it. And I'm like, it all came out. So we did a whole stain demonstration, and it all came out, and I did this whole lecture on baking soda paste and how it's the best solution any home should use, like making baking soda and all that stuff, because I'm a little bit of a clean freak. But anyway, so I mentioned it'll wick away pretty much any moisture. But one of the things we got frequent calls on were urine, right? And other little incontinence issues, no big deal, because we hope to be able to help all generations sleep wicked, but we have a lot of older age people that are sleeping wicked, and they might have some incontinence issues. So they were like, what happens if I have a little accident on the bed? So we sent it down to our trusty lab, and they tested it. They made urine and dipped the sheets in it, and we wicked it away. It was great. But the best part is, not only for that older end of life that has incontinence issues, we started Wicked Little Sleepers probably 2 years ago, and it can wick away those dribbles and drools that come off of babies' mouths, leak out of diapers, and bloody noses. If your baby's mouth hits the crib and you're not a bad parent, we love you. He's okay. Didn't lose a tooth. But yeah, so it wicks away any of those types of moisture that you can imagine in the bedroom. Yeah, did you have a question?
Tell me again where this fluid goes.
Have you had any incontinence issues lately?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you're laying on top of the sheets, and this is actually good for another great discussion of why wicking and cooling work better. So my natural inclination, and all of ours, is that, right, sweat falls off of your body and goes down onto the sheet, and heat rises. So one of my favorite things we did was we started this wicking cooling combo for folks that had issues sweating and overheating at the same time. And then we ended up developing the cooling fabric, which addresses both of those things. But as you're laying on the bed, right, let's say my shins actually always sweat, so this is a good demonstration. Soccer player thing, right? So the sweat is going to come off of my shin, off of my skin, onto the fabric. So what's going to happen, I'm going to roll and move and all that stuff, but Wicked Sheets are working for you so that you don't have to wake up and feel wet, right? So it gets going into the fabric, and then with the dry surface areas of the bed, that moisture goes out, travels out, and it basically evaporates. So when you're laying in your bed, there is not a wet spot under you. It is evaporating around you. Especially helps with people that like to spoon and want their partner to feel how happy they are to see them. Yes?
Allie, what if I'm a sheet snob and I really like a half thread count?
Oh, okay. So
2,000 plus.
2,000 plus. So this is something that drives me nuts, and I don't expect any average consumer to understand the difference between knits or wovens or thread counts, because there are so many people that have created sheets that are like, it's 6,000 thread count, and then they put a $300 price tag on it, and they literally sleep in them 4 times, and the fabric is so thin that it wears away. It might feel great, but you might wash it a couple times or sleep on it a couple times, and it wears away. So with a knitted fabric like ours, we actually have a thread count of 1. So knits are really cool because it is one continuous loop of fabric, or of thread or yarn, that makes up our entire sheet. So there's no thread count at all. And on our website, on wickedsheets.com, in the FAQ, it says, thread count is out. I am so anti people being concerned about thread count, because it doesn't necessarily mean that the product is better, but marketing and media has done a great job of making people feel better sleeping on the higher numbered thread counts.
So what's the hand? How does it feel to your hand?
We did a couple of tests, and we sent out surveys, and we had folks do blind testing, things like that with our wicking and our wicking plus cooling, and they equate it to like a 700, 800 thread count feel, which is pretty high. I mean, you could go to your local TJ Maxx or something like that and get a 200 thread count, and it feels pretty good. Right? Cottons are just typically rough to me. They feel rough on my skin. A lot of people like sleeping in really crisp sheets if they grew up with like a military dad or something, right? Maybe. Not me. My dad is a sales and marketing guy, and he sells cheese. So my knowledge is very limited, right, Dad? But yeah, about 600 or 700 thread count.
Okay.
Or 7 or 8.
I really like that color. What other colors do your sheets come in?
So we originally started with Wicked White, and then folks were calling and saying, if they were having some staining issues or things like that from bodily fluids, and maybe they didn't bleach them right away, or whatever. The next edition we had was Breezy Beige, and then now this is Cool Gray. We really like fun marketing terms with our colors, clearly. Oh yeah, we have our sample right here. So our beige is almost like a tan or a taupe. It's our packaging. I love it. Everybody gets the gift of wicked good sleep when they, ooh yeah, this, ooh, oh. Okay, and every single set actually comes with sleep instructions in the interior of the package. So you pop it out and it says, here's how you sleep wicked, right? First you want to wash your bedding, not just with Wicked sheets, with any bedding you are going to put on your bed. You want to wash it because as it comes out of a manufacturer, you want that water to soften it up. It's probably been sitting on a sewing machine or on a table where hands have touched it, or right off of a roll of fabric that has been shipped somewhere, right? So you always, 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 as a rule of thumb, want to wash your bedding before you put it on. And then we always say, make it so the silky side touches your body. Make a silk sandwich around yourself of Wicked sheets. And then sleep wicked and send us some feedback, because we always want to know what our customers are thinking about our products. Yeah.
So I'm allergic to pretty much everything. Is there any allergy issues either in the sheets themselves or with the care of the sheets that I have to worry about?
I'm so glad you asked. So when we started the baby line, we had a lot of people that I thought were going to be like, oh, we only do 100% cotton. There's too many allergies, too many risks in the bedroom. So I am happy to announce, this is really big news. We have not actually publicized it yet. We're going to do a press release tomorrow morning. We are now asthma and allergy friendly certified. So that's the biggest mark you could get in home textiles for asthma and allergy care, right? Ooh, it's so big. Thank you. Thank you. So we went through this vigorous 4-month testing in the only ISO registered lab in Ireland to test our product against every allergen you could possibly imagine, right? Even formaldehydes, things like that. And what is so sad is that there are sheets that are produced that have formaldehyde in them. And that is probably the worst thing you can put near or in your body, right? So we wanted to make sure we were hypoallergenic, asthma allergy friendly, addressing all of those needs for our customers, because we want them to rest easy knowing that there's not going to be something that's going to hurt their skin. So that's why it's especially safe for our baby line too. Good question. I think maybe 1 or 2 more? Yeah.
So how long has Wicked Sheets been around?
So I started the company in 2008, or the idea came to fruition in 2008. Clearly I don't like talking to people about my bodily functions, but I had torn my ACL and was immobile for 6 weeks learning how to walk. I did one of those bad surgeries where they take like 6 inches of your hamstring and then you have to learn how to walk again. So I was totally immobile. Casey, you were there. That's my roommate of 8 years. We should have common law marriage now. Anyway, so I went to my doctor like most people do, and she said, well, let's rule it out. Why would you be having night sweats so bad if you're just immobile? You know, it made sense when I was playing soccer 3 times a day, like that made sense. But she's like, all right, you're not going through menopause, you're not pregnant, you don't have cancer, tested for diabetes, all of these other things. And I could like really start telling her, well, it's specifically at night, and here are the body parts that I'm experiencing them. And anybody out there with hyperhidrosis knows that it can be any body part at any awful time, right? You could be in the middle of a presentation and your left pit might just start flooding, and you're like, I can't control it. Okay, so hyperhidrosis is this condition where folks like myself sweat 3 to 4 times more out of the exact same amount of sweat glands as the rest of you. is probably the sexiest thing that I have going on in this bod, right? It was my pickup line at the bar from age 24 to 25, like when I got the diagnosis. And then I found out that I could like use it as a pickup line and then say, but I sell sheets too, to answer it. I want to test them out. That's how I picked up your son. Anyway, sorry, Tyler. I think you were probably watching right now. So I just basically jokingly suggested one day when we were at this family function, I'm going to cut up a bunch of these Nike Dry Fit golf shirts and sew them into bed sheets because that's the only thing that works. I know that when I'm playing soccer or when people are golfing, it wicks away moisture, so why wouldn't it work in the bedroom too? So everyone in my family, of course, was like, oh, there's Allie with another harebrained idea. And my dad, the sales and marketing guy, was like, this is a great idea, like you should try it. So I drove back from St. Louis back to Louisville and filled up a notebook on how I was going to start my dry fitted sheets company. And I realized really early on, which a lot of entrepreneurs do, we've got big dreams, right? I didn't know how to sew. I took one business class and I didn't have fabric. So I just figured that blessed with the gift of gab, I could find a way to locate and source the fabric. Went on Craigslist and found 3 seamstresses. Those were maybe the best stories of my life. Talking about interviewing like 100 people, I looked at about 100 applications of folks that were specialty seamstresses, and specialty is a special, diverse word. I mean, we got leather stampers, lingerie sewers, drapery seamstresses, Cherokee Indian folks that were sewing positive energy into the sheets. So if you bought Wicked Sheets in 2008 or 9, you are blessed, for sure. And I paid for it, I know. So it's been an iteration of the past almost 10 years, 9 years now, of changing manufacturers. Right now we're sewing in Cincinnati. We're hoping to be sewing some in Louisville soon. We've changed buildings. We're getting ready to move again in about a month and a half. We've grown in staff. We're about a team of 11 right now, and I hope that it continues. This trend continues. We can help all kinds of people start sleeping wicked.
Can you buy just the pillowcases by themselves?
Yeah, so we do everything kind of like an a la carte fashion, so you can make your own bed. If you are someone that maybe has incontinence issues or wants 5 fitted sheets and 2 pillowcases, but you sleep only with the quilt your grandmother made you, you can buy anything to fit your bed's needs. We also have the set option as well. So on wickedsheets.com you can do either of that, the mix and match. I think that's probably all the questions we have. I cannot thank you enough. And just as a heads up, if you were tuning in, because today is our first Facebook Live ever, we're extending our summer sale for 20% off another week as a thanks for tuning in. You can find that on our website. The code is summer20. And I hope to join you guys again soon. And there are lots of followers that liked this because it was so much fun. Thanks. Sleep wicked, folks. Woo. You good? I am soaked.